Hi guys, welcome back. I didn't get shorter. I'm finally leaning back. I usually tend to lean forward really far, but I've been noticing I'm developing a very bad habit of actually hunching forward in my seat, so I'm trying to self-correct. Um, I went out and I had a glorious summer day. I'm still having a glorious summer day. It's the longest day of the year. It's the solstice. Went up to the Dollar General, got two gifts for the gods. They're actually the silliest things you've ever seen. It's a Uncle Sam and it's a dog mascot. And they're the goofiest things I ever seen, and those are just perfect to put in front of Odin's thing. And I went to the library, and lo and behold, it had just come in. I found the last book for my friend. So everything's going real good, and as I'm going around, I took all these pictures, and I put some of the nice stuff up for you over on Patreon, so you have some exclusive goodies over there. And as I'm going around, I remember she said, well, visit our one friend. So I'm coming down, and we're going somewhere for the story, and I go to visit them. They're not there. And I walk over, and I get some treats, because we agreed first day of summer we would hit the DQ, so hit the DQ. And we're coming back, and we see my friend, and I had meant to drop her book just in her thing and let the book fairy deliver it, but I didn't do it, so I came home, had lunch, and we're having a good old time, and we're enjoying the summer sun and everything, and I decided, well, I'll, made the video for you guys, and went up and went to visit her, and it turns out my friend hurt her leg. And they don't know how she hurt her leg. Am I close enough to the mic? I'm sorry. I'm not used to sitting back and relaxing. It probably tells you something about my personality. So, okay, I'm hearing ticks and taps behind me. So she has her leg out, and I say, oh, honey, what's the matter? And she hurt her leg. She went to the doctor's. Doctor doesn't know what it is. She got blood tests and everything else. And I'm fussing over her. And our one friend stops by and she's fussing over her. And we're, telling her we're going to pray for her, which we have been. So if you want to feel free to pray for people. And we're talking and everything. And we're like taking her shoes and socks off for her because, she can't move. And I was worried about her. I said, you look like you scraped this or bumped this. What happened to you, sweetheart? What did you do? And a couple of the toes looked black, which did not look good. It looked like she'd dropped something on her foot. And she says, I don't know. And so we're fussing over her. And I said, you get on that prayer circle in the church. And I said, I'll be praying for you, but you get in that prayer circle. And she's really upset. And yes, this is still a Lokean channel. And she's really upset because she has this thing she wants to go to Sunday. And as I'm leaving, the gentleman friend comes back as I'm leaving. He says, she says to me, she says, well, pray for me. I said, yeah, I'm going to pray for you. She says, pray that God makes it better by Sunday. I said, hey, I will pray for you, but I don't know what God has in store for you on Sunday. I said, I will come up and I will sit on you because the doctor told her this is not a 2-day fix. She's not going anywhere Sunday. And she was disappointed. I said, honey, you're going to get better and you're going to go even better places. I said, I don't want you forcing yourself when you're hurt to go do this. Then it's just going to take longer for her to heal. And I know how her mind works because it works a lot like mine. She's thinking, totally worth it. Because that would be the dumb thing I would do. I would go hurt and I would hurt it more. And it would be, instead of like a week or so, it would be like a month or so. And I'm like, no, you're not going. If I have to come up here Sunday and sit on you, you are not going. And she can't drive herself anyway, so she's not going anywhere. But he told her no. And I told her no. And her friends told her no. And the prayer circle will tell her no. And the thing is, sometimes we do have disappointments. I mean, here it is, first day of summer. It's beautiful. You would think she'd be able to be out for a ride or something. She's laid up in her chair with her foot propped up. And, sometimes life is like that. I've been having trouble off and on with this leg. And I know for mine, it's partly arthritis. I've always had problems with that leg all my life. It's partly having been hit by the car decades ago. And it's partly walking up all these hills is not good for anybody's legs. People do it because we have no choice, but it's like really steep inclines and downclines. And if you do it enough, it's wear and tear on the legs. So at least I know where mine comes from. But like with hers, it was just a mystery. It started to hurt and everything else. And I do have original blessing on the way. And she told me that might take a couple weeks because I said, I always fuss over theology, one point of theology. And I actually talked to my friend about this. And I said, I know. I said, I took theology in college. I said, I should be more open to other points. I said, I just get so mad. I got bad temper. And she says, well, you should be open-minded. I said, I don't mind this woman's book, but I said, I've watched her lectures, and I said, everything's a sin, and I don't like it. And she goes, everything's not a sin. I said, yeah, she gets crazy, like a cheeseburger becomes a sin, this becomes a sin. She goes, no. And we were talking back and forth on the nature of sin, because we have these discussions, and I said, the best explanation I saw of sin, and you don't have to carry this concept as a pagan, by the way, but I find it interesting, is doing anything against your conscience. If you don't have any problem with eating, say, 5 cheeseburgers at a meal, because you logically think, yes, I'm eating 5 cheeseburgers, and that's an awful lot of food, but I'm not also getting 5 shakes and 5 fries. And if you can reason it that way, and that's the best you can do, and you don't see that as sinful or extravagant, then it's not. I work with Dionysus. Even Dionysus would tell you to know your limits. Don't eat until the point you get sick, And it really is not so much what you eat, but it's whether you feel guilty or not when you eat it. As pagans, we're supposed to let go of guilt and enjoy food. It was funny she used the 2 cheeseburger example because I get the 2 for $4 cheeseburger, but when I get that, I don't get fries, I don't get drink, I don't get an ice cream. So to me, it's like, well, I've actually worked out the calories. This is less calories than to go get the fry and the drink and the ice cream. So it all works out. So, it was just one of those things we were talking back and forth on. And, sin theology really doesn't have a place in paganism unless you carried it over. But I suppose what I'm getting at is that, there's really no place for feeling bad and guilty, at least if you work with Loki. Loki has told me guilt really doesn't solve anything. You did something wrong. Either make up for it, apologize, or leave that situation alone. One of the 3 will always work, but there's nothing else you can do. Going around feeling guilty and like a bad person isn't going to do much to rectify it. Now, that doesn't mean we go around and do as we will and do things we know are bad and then never feel bad about because Loki said so. That's not what I just said. I said that if you do wrong things and you just, every time you do them, you can't help yourself, right? Admit you did wrong and either fix it, apologize, or, walk away from the situation. Those are the only 3 things you can do. So I just figured I would make that for you guys. It seemed kind of timely because that is a big, I think, stumbling block between Christians and pagans, that idea of sin. Pagans look at it and we go, "Oh, that's why we left Christianity." I think if they had some rephrasing, it's been 2,000 years, if they had some rephrasing and they picked a different word, mistakes would be a good word. Mistakes would be better. Poor choices. That would be better. But it was just something interesting to explore. So if you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.